First of all, welcome to every one of you. And then, of course, welcome to all the panelists here, without who I don't think we could get this session anywhere. First off, we're talking about a subject which has been there forever, without which you take it away, and then I don't think we would have the energy to breathe, energy to do anything at all, even to land up here. So with that, the advent of the AI and the gentleman here from the AICRA who has put together the whole, the gala of the AI, I should say, in terms of how we need to move this forward and what dialogues need to happen, what frameworks need to happen, that should evolve from here. Before we start, let's give a round of applause to yourselves first, and then all the panelists here. Now, I'm sure the topic of AI, or the artificial intelligence, as we say, goes back to many decades. And I happen to be one of the pioneer signatories of the ethical AI. So in order to grow food, in order to consume food, in order to distribute, in order to address the supply chain and the entire gamut of in order to cater to all of these in an ethical manner, in an inclusive manner, in a responsible manner, is what we have gathered here. And again, let me introduce the panelists. On to my extreme left is Mr. Ram Gopal Agarwal, the founder and chairman of the Dhanuka Industries Group. Please give a round of applause to. Welcome, sir. And on to my left is Mr. Vishal Salgotra. He's from MIT Slovene. As you can say, he's lost all his hair because of all of the thinking which he has done for the planet. And so I hope he takes it very lightly. Please give a round of applause to him. On to my right is Mr. Manoj Vashne from IFCO MC Crop Science. And I'm sure we could learn plenty of things from him today when we put the tough questions in terms of R&D to him. So please, a round of applause to him. Please welcome on board. A little bit about myself. I do come from an engineering background, but I do come from a sports background and a farmer, although a city-bred brat. So I do know a thing or two about farming. And I am setting up a few agricultural clusters in the country. And I was just picking Mr. Vishal's mind as to how we could use AI and all the developments that have happened and much more to come. So without much further ado, let me pose the first question to Mr. Dhanuka Group Chairman, Mr. Ram Gopal. So Mr. Ram Gopal, please share a few words in your own words, what you think needs to happen in the industry, especially with a focus on the AI and its implementation in various aspects of it. You have a 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes for your, unstructured. Certainly, the first 2 minutes you could have, and then after that I'll put questions, then we will let you off the hook. Thank you.
Thank you. सबसे पहले मेरा प्रणाम आप सबको, और क्योंकि हम कृषि की बात कर रहे हैं तो मैं फार्मर के जैसे हिंदी में बात करना पसंद करूंगा, मेरा ख्याल आपकी इजाज़त होगी। देखिए, कृषि है हमारा पेट भरने के लिए, और आज हमारा पेट भरा है तो हम यहाँ आराम से बैठ के बात कर पा रहे हैं। तो मैं किसान को सैल्यूट करता हूँ, एक सैल्यूट जवान को करता हूँ, क्योंकि उसने बॉर्डर पे हमको सिक्योर रखा हुआ है, तो हम यहाँ बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं। नाउ क्वेश्चन कम्स, रोल ऑफ एआई इन एग्रीकल्चर। फ्रेंड्स, if we go to our Vedas, then there is lot of knowledge about agriculture and new technology, AI. There are also lot of things are there. But what is happening, unfortunately, today our farmers don't have the old technique as well as new technique, और वो जिक्र आता है त्रिशंकु के जैसे आज हमारी एग्रीकल्चर है। और रिजल्ट क्या उसका? I leave developed north, global north, let us leave. Let us compare our neighbor China. Our GDP is 1/3 per hectare in comparison to China. It is not good sign. But AI, if we could transfer among the farmers, then definitely it can do wonders. Means our agriculture income can be tripled by AI because our farmers are very, very hardworking. But they don't have the right tools with them. Until as we give them right tools through AI, and our government policies are also. Because today sustainability की माला लोग फेरते हैं, एग्रीकल्चर की माला फेरते हैं, और जब पॉलिसीज बना के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की बात होती है तो सीनियर टॉप मोस्ट लोग बैठे हैं, उनके पास टाइम ही नहीं है. अभी नास कॉम्प्लेक्स में सनसेट टीवी वाले उनका प्रोग्राम था जिसमें गडकरी जी के साथ शेयर कर रहा था मैं. जब मेरी स्पीच चल रही थी तो उसी समय गडकरी जी आए और गडकरी जी ने अपने स्पीच में कहा पिछले 5 सालों में विदर्भ में 10,000 फार्मर्स ने सुसाइड की. 10,000 फार्मर्स ने विदर्भ में सुसाइड की. और उन्होंने एआई का कितना शानदार इस्तेमाल किया है. लाइक टू कोट दैट एग्जाम्पल एंड देन आई विल स्टॉप हियर. ही इज नॉट ओनली a road transport minister, but he is a very dynamic in agriculture also. रोड्स के लिए उनको सॉइल चाहिए, मट्टी चाहिए, और फार्मर्स को वाटर स्टोरेज के लिए टैंक चाहिए. तो उन्होंने पंजाब राव देशमुख यूनिवर्सिटी में वहाँ सड़क बन रही थी 6 लेन की, तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं आपके तालाब खुदवा देता हूँ, आप मुझे मिट्टी दे दीजिए. तो उन्होंने 40 तालाब पंजाब राव देशमुख यूनिवर्सिटी में खुदवा दिए और वो मट्टी रोड बनाने में ले ली. उनका पैसा नहीं लगा और वो 40 तालाब बन गए और आज पूरा एरिया इरिगेटेड है पंजाब राव देशमुख यूनिवर्सिटी का. इसके अलावा वो फार्मर्स के फील्ड्स में भी पॉन्ड्स बनवा रहे हैं और उस मिट्टी को सड़क में यूज़ कर रहे हैं. तो एक छोटा सा पॉइंट, या वो रिवर लिंकिंग की बात कर रहे थे कि एक्सेस रिवर्स का वाटर जो शॉर्ट वाटर है वहाँ ट्रांसफ़र करने का. तो ये सब छोटी छोटी एआई की चीज़ है, कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. लेकिन अगर इसको प्रॉपर तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाए तो आज हम विश्व गुरु नहीं हैं. सच्चाई ये है हम विश्व गुरु थे, लेकिन 2047 तक फिर से विश्व गुरु और वर्ल्ड में नंबर 1 इकॉनमी बनने का विजन है. वो हर हिंदुस्तानी कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा तभी वो अचीव हम कर पाएंगे. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ram Gopalji. In fact, I piggyback on what you said about the river linking and also of the empowering of the farmers, without which we cannot dream of being a Vishwaguru, and also the number 2 in the world, which we aspire to. On that, a small question. You spoke about river linking. In fact, I just came back from the Northeast, having spoken to the Vice Chancellor, who himself is a farmer. And our discussion was about how can we link the rivers to the canals, to the feed, to the lands where it requires, to the farmers who would require the water. And this is where I think the AI could also play a crucial role, a critical role, in fact, of how we could use the technology in doing the soil testings, at the customized solutions at the local places, and as well have the metadata in place. So correct me if I'm wrong, Vishalji, this is where I think our focus needs to be. In that, if you could say a few words, please, Ram Gopalji. And after that, we'll have Mr. Vishal speak on it. Thank you.
Thank you. You see, water is very, very important in life. We come from Rajasthan. Our forefathers migrated 150 years ago. Why I'm telling? In our village, groundwater was not drinkable. So we migrated, our forefathers. But whatever we were living, so we were harvesting rainwater. Every home was having underground tank, and whatever rainwater was coming, that was harvested and used throughout year for drinking. Similarly, for irrigation, due to free water, free electricity, there is a lot of misuse. So our farmers, whatever subsidy is needed, that must be given. But nothing should be given in free because misuse we can avoid. Israel, a desert country, by drip irrigation, they are irrigating and they have become very rich in agriculture. So similarly, we have enough water. We have more than 1000 rainfall in the country. And today our 50% area is irrigated. Rest of the 50% area is dependent on rain. By using this, number one, using the water as per requirement, for that we market an instrument which is fixed with the field and intimate on mobile phone how much water is required. So if we use that much water, we can save the water. And next, this drip and sprinkler irrigation, that is the technology which guides how much water is to be given, and that is through AI. So if we use this technology, we can have 100% area under irrigation. And once irrigation comes, then from dry land to irrigation, 3 times production increases. So this AI in irrigation can do wonders. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram Gopalji. That deserves truly an applause. In fact, I would like to add to what you said is a small country like Netherlands exports, I think is in number 7 in exports in the world, agricultural exports in the world. A small country like Netherlands. Resource management, especially water, which is a premium. Most people think that we are looking at 24% of the land on this planet, and we have the audacity and the arrogance to grow crops and burn them for fuel, which I believe is a ludicrous approach. We call it circular logic. Folks can look it up what circular logic means. I've not been so arrogant to explain it. But what matters is, I would like to bring Manoj Vashniji to comment on this. You have roughly 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much for this opportunity on I think I would like to speak about what AI can bring in, where we are and where we should be actually as a country, as companies, as organizations. So we all know a lot of research has already been done, importance of agriculture. So there are 4 things what AI brings to us or offers to us. One is that it can help us deliver precision farming and resource optimization. AI has got has already proven in crop health monitoring and disease detection. Crop health monitoring is like crop is not healthy, or that signs of early detection in the challenges, whether it's a nutritional disorders, then those kind of sensors can help build up corrective steps to the farmer. And in fact, if there are any diseases, that recommending the solution for those diseases. So basically what I wanted to say is that crop health monitoring and disease, wherein farmers find very difficult to manage while growing the crop. Third is obviously based on the crop health, how the crop is doing the yield prediction and harvest optimization. What is the right time of harvesting the crop, right? And then apart from it, there are other applications like weed management. Now farmer in general do very targeted or very general weed management. AI can help identify what are all the predominant weeds in his field, and according to that and according to the crop fitment, he can implement that specific weed management solution. In fact, similar thing applies for the pest control also, right? So all put together, if I say that these are the 4 areas which are very important for having the food quantity and quality, both, right? Food production and as well as the sustainable agriculture. So AI can help. The lot of research has already been done. I think there is a time to move ahead by the government to take these steps to implement it at the farmer level. Some of the applications like Dr. R.J. Agrawal was talking about, some of those applications in irrigation have already been done. But apart from irrigation, a more to do at a farmer's level, then only we'll be able to see the benefits in the real agriculture. Thank you.
Wonderfully put together. Thank you, Manish Washington. Now, let me ask my good friend Vishal Talgotra, who is the brain behind the AI amongst all of the four people sitting here, to add his expert comments, a brief about AI in general, and then, of course, if you could tackle the question as well. Thank you.
Sure. So thank you. Okay, let me try and explain, at a very ground level as to how AI is helping, let's say, farming in general. So right now, what we are doing is farmers are looking at visual clues. एक पत्ता खराब होता है, so they are saying, okay, I mean, कुछ ना कुछ खराबी है. So either they put nutrients, all across the field, right? Or they put pesticide all across the field. What AI can do is, they scan, through photograph, feed into deep learning models, which are CNN or LTSMs, and they find out, whether a one patch of the crop is deficient of certain nutrient, or one area, or the entire area. Accordingly, it recommends, okay, I mean, you can, few square meters, this is where, the nutrient is needed. So this is precision, farming. That's exactly, where sustainability also come into play. So that's where AI can help. Now, apart from that, moving on. Now, once, the crop is, getting grown. So, I mean, you can do yield prediction, right? So, while a farmer is growing, if he, is able to understand, okay, he can have, X amount of yield, going through 2, 3, 4 months in advance, he can not only, plan labor, he can also go into the market and, find out what is the best possible rate that he can actually get and negotiate well in advance, and, also, bring in a lot of supply chain efficiencies into his system. That's another, AI-based, system that I can, look into. There are several other, aspect of, AI that also, come into play. Like if you look at input efficiencies, you can also look at output efficiencies. So if you look at holistically, AI can be almost in every aspect of it. Having said so, there can be pitfalls as well. There can be big companies which can almost aggregate all aspect of data and then manipulate it to benefit certain few people. That's where we can talk about creating a policy around AI and how government should be looking at it. And that's where now if somebody says you should be somebody should be explaining farmers that if somebody is saying that AI is recommending pesticide across, but somebody should be explaining farmers that why this decision is being taken. So there are several aspects to it.
Thank you. That was a good wrap, spreading all over the.
Sensei ji, I would just like to interrupt you for a short while. Mr. Ramgopal Agarwal has to leave. So, thank you, sir. I'd like to call upon Shri Rajkumar Sharma. Thank you so much. आपने इतना समय दिया, हम आपके बहुत अनुग्रहित किया. एक उर्दू में बड़ा अच्छा शेर है कि बढ़ती भी रहे उम्र भी शोहरत भी मेरी, बढ़ती भी रहे उम्र भी शोहरत भी मेरी, मगर मैं अपने.
Thank you, Abhinav ji. A wonderful share to. Okay, moving the conversation forward. In fact, Vishal ji brought in a few words which I was about to delve and pick his brain upon in terms of precision farming. Precision farming is a key to get India to where it needs to be, or in fact, scaling it up the entire planet to where it needs to be in terms of food security. Food security is one aspect that we have not addressed. and I would like to bring it upon in terms of the crop monitoring. I'll just share a small anecdote which takes you back to the January of last year, where the FAO had organized a closed-door deliberations in terms of suggesting to our nation what crops we need to grow, and even furthering as to what is a healthy diet for the country. How many of you here would like to be told what to eat, what is a healthy diet by someone else? Do you like to be told, or don't you like to be told? How many of you like to be told? None of you, right? Do you like to be told what best crops to grow for somebody sitting from across the planet? Do you like to be? All right, so nobody likes to be told. Because how many of you are farmers here? 1, 2, 3, 5, including me. I'm a farmer myself. I don't look like one, but I am. The point being is that the AI can actually detect what kind of the soil is suited to what. So, and of course the weather patterns and various other parameters that we could take into consideration. The whole matrix could be developed. Precision farming would lead into that where the country is looking to grow and become the leader in the world, which we are on a track. So coming back from there, we were only 3 of us who put together and blocked the entire conversation of the FAO or the other agencies who were trying to suggest to the country, which is only one step being a recommendation to the government, which becomes policies later on. So from that, it is incumbent upon us to be cognizant and also take the right decisions in a responsible manner, because it affects everyone in the country. And on a global scale, of course, it impacts upon the food security. So coming back from there to what we need to do today, the first question goes to Vishal to explain what precision farming is and how precisely, playing upon the words, AI could impact positively in this and what we need to do. So quickly, if you could wrap up in about 2-3 minutes, that'd be great. Thanks.
I would actually like to bring data here. I mean, in the sense, government have trove of data, and somehow it has to be brought into in a dashboard, kind of a model wherein if we can actually look at what is being consumed by all these consumer across Delhi or NCR region, or say all the cities, which will give an idea to farmers sitting across the cities or around cities as to what consumption, how many let's say tons of vegetables is being consumed by what area. It gives rather than saying acha tu ye uga raha hai to main bhi ye ugata hu, rather than taking a data driven decision. I think that will help a long way, not only increasing the income of farmers, but also reducing a lot of wastage, because at the end of the day what is happening is if farmers are producing a lot of bottle gourd, it is getting wasted, because the consumption is less and it is not being data driven than otherwise, so it is not helping. So I guess we need to have data driven approach. We need to aggregate data here, put it on a dashboard, bring it onto the farmers so that they can take a call, and it should be across the country, and there should be a national data agri data exchange, which should help something like that, which should help take all these calls and actually can go a long way in not only securing food but also increasing income of a lot of farmers.
Vishal, I think I should commend you on that in saying agri-data exchange, which is exactly one of the I don't know whether you have been stalking me before. Vision India 2032 is set up in all these ecosystems to build a meta-ecosystem for the country. And I, coming from, I didn't share before, I was also a former trade strategist handling 30 traders in commodity trading and also currency swaps and bond swaps. So when we talk about an exchange, yeah, you look at the overall the world order in which how we operate, and then we have submissively taken into consideration what has been driven to us and say this is how it needs to be, without having the micro data, as you said. See, I come from a farming background as well, but also from a supply chain and a trading background. So allow me to share about the 45 seconds I'll take. I was a 17-year-old, and we had 700 acres of sugarcane crop that year. And then to make matters worse, we had the sugar factories which were running on strikes, and then our trucks used to stand in queue for almost about 3 to 4 weeks. I think the price per ton of the sugarcane used to be 410, 405 at the time. So I looked at my father and said, are we going to waste all our money and efforts, just go down the drain and see it literally? So he said, what do you want to do? So I said, I would not want to. Anyway, we don't eat sugar at home, we eat jaggery. हम लोग गुड़ खाते हैं घर में. So I said, मैं गुड़ बनाऊंगा. So he looked at me, you live in the damn city and then you're going to come and manage the farm? And so I said, give me 30 seconds. Took less than that possibly and said, हाँ मैं बनाऊंगा. So we took 8 bundle डाल दिया हम लोग. So it was more than enough. So when we did that, the neighbors who had also grown sugarcane, they also had the same commonality of problems. So what they did was, they said, हम भी आपको गन्ने देंगे, तो आप गुड़ बनाइए. But it didn't stop there. So in a radius of 50, 60 kilometers, everybody started putting up, to make good. Then what happened is then we got to transport it to the commodity exchanges. Are in Mysore, and that area is in Erode. I know some people are wondering, well, what has AI got to do with this? I'll come to the point a little bit down the road. So we didn't crash the market. So we did a study of which families can sustain for a longer duration, and depending upon the sustainability capability, then we said this family will release this much, and this would go first. So we had an order, written order. And they would take release the product into the market. So that we don't crash the market. If you crash the market, it's supply demand in place. So the price would come down and it'll, shooting ourselves in the foot. If I had the capability, the technological capability back in the days, then we would have done a little bit differently. The AI would have given us patterns into tapping into the world market, the commodity market, and how we could have sustainability, and we could have possibly the cold storages and chains to utilize as well. So we did that for 3.5 years. And of course, as a cooperative movement, you take off the linchpin, everything falls apart, and that's exactly what happened. We could go back to it. The exchanges, what he's talking about, is what we need to work on together. Right from what we need to grow, when we need to grow, what interventions need to happen. And these are the areas where the young startups, I don't see many young sitting here, but it's a great opportunity to delve into this and startups. We all want to move into the cities with the fancy, flashy cars, but can we go into the rural? It's a gold mine, it's a diamond mine. He also mentioned about the wastages from the bottle gourd. We grow banana, right? How many of you have grown banana? I've seen banana plantations. Oh, lovely, thank you. Now you see, what do we do with the peel? What do you do with the trunks, the stems that are there? So there are a lot of things that are being done at the moment. We had a project to make corrugated board from the banana fibers, and this is where the AI can come in the supply chain. The supply chain is where you got the packing industries, you got the the millions of products that goes on a daily basis, but can we replace that with the sustainable biodegradable products? So with that is an opportunity for everybody to think, and I would invite Vashni ji to comment and take about 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And only one thought came to my mind while we were discussing on this. Do we need to make everything artificial? From I to AI? I do not know. But so there are benefits of AI, but I think we need not forget about the basic I. or basic IQ, basic intelligence. Maybe that we all are thinking or talking about so much about AI. The basic intelligence, what I'm talking it from a farmer's perspective to make it more meaningful. Now, what is the right time of planting? It is my forefathers' intelligence. It needs to be planted within this period to this period. It has to be used. Now, those intelligence have gone back from the traditions, and then people are doing experimentation. Probably it is that area where AI can help us. But the basic intelligence or basic notions cannot be challenged. Second thing is we talk about resource optimization, how much I should use, whether I should use excessive fertilizers or more fertilizers, or I should use different kind of combinations. Probably it is that area where AI can help. But in terms of decision making, what is the right model or what would be the right optimum usage for having the right crop output? I think that's the second thing. Third thing is when should I harvest? As I, in fact, in the starting also I talk about. So now using with I or using with AI. AI can only suggest, okay, next 5 days it's going to be rainy, so it's better to harvest now, otherwise you are going to lose the crop. So probably those are the areas where a basic I as a farmer can be helped. Because we said, unless we think it from a farmer's perspective, we will not be able to make it more meaningful. So my point is, what I wanted to add is the basic I need not be forgotten in the entire flashy talk for AI. I think this is what I would like to submit to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Washingji. In fact, we don't have to be artificial. Use the technology to go back to the roots, and at the same time, you mentioned, do we need? That need is a question wherein the ethics come into place on being responsible. We were just discussing this about a week ago in the ISO Joint Working Group on AI and Sustainability, of which I'm also a small part of it, getting into it rather. And where we need to use it, how we need to use it, towards what end. And that impact is what is the AI that we could use to use the resource optimization, the timing of the harvesting, and much more as to the demand as well. Like on one end, the supply chain. On the other hand, do we have enough granaries built in? Like if I'm leading the convoy to Myanmar, where I'm looking to take over about 1,000 tons there, what are we replacing it with? Do we have enough in our own granaries? We saw in COVID times, are we releasing enough PPEs? No, we did not export it to the world because we need to take care of our nation first. And like that, if we scale it up to the world, do we have enough to feed the entire 8.5 billion people? Which I have written that we have enough resources to actually feed 8.5 billion when we reach there. With that, let me move on to the next question as to reducing waste and enhancing productivity. How AI can specifically get into this? If you could share a certain example that you have, maybe one, maybe two, if time permits within 2 minutes, that'll be great. So again, go back to you.
See, reducing, I think in agriculture particularly, we can talk of food wastage in terms of, let's say, our farmers are producing a lot of wheat or a lot of rice, but many, like most of us are aware of how much food goes like as spoils. Food gets spoiled, right? Probably this is going to be my demand, and based on that, giving that the prices or the volume is going to be higher. So AI prediction, what should be the good commercial scenario for other crops, probably it is going to help us. And in terms of going that as an advisory to the farmers, instead of growing rice or wheat, you could focus on growing coarse cereals, or you could be focusing more on maize, or you could be focusing more on pulses. Probably these kind of advisories are definitely going to be helpful if there are the proper structured predictive modeling is already developed in that scenario. I am not sure at this point of time how much commercially it is getting implemented, but probably this requires more of government intervention. but I see that this could lead to some beneficial impact in terms of reducing the spoilage of the food.
Thank you, Varshniji. Now I invite Vishal to comment and also to add more insights into what you have experienced seen in your with the consulting hat on. Thank you.
So, as I mentioned, previously, one of the most key aspect here is to look at the market trend. What's happening, what is being consumed, what's the trend? Is the market consuming exotic vegetables more than bottle gourd? Are we flushing bottle gourd more, and as a result, dumping bottle gourd in the market, as a result, having so much of wastage there. That's one aspect. But at the crop level, what we can look at is input optimization, wherein you have soil testing done, based on which you have right kind of vegetables being grown. As a result, you have right kind of seed being selected, which might get you would have far less water being taken. So those are the things that can be looked at from AI perspective. Then AI can also do a lot of yield prediction. So as a result, you would have a lot of planning that you can actually do well in advance. So that can that can actually help from a wastage point of view in a big way.
Thank you, Vishalji. In fact, it could also take more than just the wastage prediction, and also have to resource optimization, as you said. In predictive analysis as to how the granaries could be there, how we could tackle the food distribution systems, and also into maximization of the profits if you're exporting it. What is the baseline in which the country needs or the local needs are. And then on a daily basis, how you could get into the money, or we say the commodity exchanges. These can be congruent and compliant as well in terms of what we expect the future contracts to be. Like for instance, most of the farmers are not used to having future contracts, and when we brought in the future contract systems back in 30 years ago, like tender coconuts, for instance, when the price used to be 1 rupee 75 paise per tender coconut, or the purchase price when the brokers come to your doorstep, or the land step rather. But then when you link up with other industries, which we are not actually doing, is where I am heading towards. As to, can we focus on these? Can we look in an inclusive circular manner? Not in circular logic, but circular economy manner, as to how we could integrate. For instance, I'll take the tender coconut as an example, and say there's a desiccated coconut exporter from the country, and then they have set orders to export. Let's say they are exporting about 500 metric tons. And then can we come back and say, can we give future contracts to the tender coconuts? Now, AI comes in the predictive patterns right from end-to-end supply chain. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vishal. This is where I would rather focus on the end-to-end traceability from the product, end-to-end supply chain demand and integrity, where I don't hear anybody talking about supply chain integrity, for that matter. This is where the responsible growth and the evolution of AI should happen with human oversight as to how we could. So from 175 purchase price of tender coconut, with the future contracts from the desiccated coconut exporters, the price went up to 4 rupees 15 paise to 4 rupees 50 paise. Now, if I only wish that we had access to technology and documenting that in predictive analysis back then, it all was humanly done. So if we could take it up, scale it up, and also identify patterns and generate it in the manner where consumptions happen. Like tender coconut is the preferred, I think, drink in certain weddings and events today. So I'll shut up there and then ask Vishalji to again pick it up and then say where we need to have the policy regulations. This is where the ethics come into play. This is where the human oversight come into play, and say how we could grow responsibly, how we could evolve responsibly and inclusively. Thank you. Your turn.
Sure. As such, there is no framework, there is no protocol for AI models. I mean, in the name of AI, it's not that anybody can do anything, right? So I think we need to evolve AI framework protocols so that it has to, go through certain, regulations where it can be implemented, because it's a serious matter, and at the end of the day, the farmer should benefit. I mean, in the sense, if data, as they say, is gold, but if one big company uses that data and creates its own model, then what's the use of farmers? I mean, where do they go? So can we create data cooperatives for the farmers, which they continuously are creating a data on their own, and then these data cooperatives are exchanging data with the national data exchange, and then this national data exchange is giving this data to all these big companies, which in turn is giving benefits to making all these farmers relevant as well. So this entire chain becomes relevant, not the other way around.
Eloquently put, which is the need of the hour. AI and sustainability from the ISO working group, and also the foundational standards, which is another working group of the joint working group of the ISO of the world, deliberates all this specifically, but not on the precise term what used as data collectives, which in my opinion should be transparent, available to everyone. Anyone could access this in real time, on which, of course, a lot of businesses could also be grown as well. So we would be seeding the opportunities for many of these startups to come as well. With that, I invite Manoj Varshney to say a few words and take up 2 minutes to talk about regulatory frameworks. Thanks.
Sure. I think expecting a regulatory framework around this is a good idea, but not everything. I have not seen any efforts from the government except for few forums talking about it, and then they're promoting it. And in fact, there is a new Niti Aayog intervention and suggestions.
Are you sure you're working for IFCO?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So,
please continue.
So I think, in my opinion, government doing some framework, probably because the ill effects of AI also, it should not mislead us to any in the negative connotation. So I think I am making sense, or I am talking from that perspective, right? So in general, though there are no regulatory frameworks, there can be in terms of, and if we talk of India has no AI specific law, right? There are only some Information Technology Act 2000 and Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, which is currently working as a regulatory framework for this, right? Niti Aayog is actively involved in developing policies and initiative related to AI. This is what I've collected some information. And government has established AI centers for excellence in various sectors, including agriculture, to promote AI adoption and development, right? So as you said, and I also agree to this, I think we need to have a responsible AI development. So I would like to suggest and agree to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Varshney. In fact, that is also the need of the hour. In fact, the agriculture ecosystem in itself, we do not have a platform at the moment. And as such, I think we are on the path to set up a steering committee, if I'm not mistaken. No, I see a nod. So what is needed is, do we have the voice of the farmers? Do we have the entire chain of the agri stakeholders in place to have a voice? So that is the first step, if you ask me, in setting up the stakeholdership, in being transparent and inclusive. Number two, of course, you said the government should take charge. I believe that I believe in the private entities. I believe in the society's power, not to undermine the governance. Because I do talk about responsible governance and transparent governance. So in this aspect, if you go back to let's say a century ago, we used to have our sustainable models in societies. The elderlies used to certain families used to come together and then take care of issues what they had within themselves without having to go to the so-called English or the maritime law in which all of our judiciary is based upon. So from that, we have moved away. Then if you talk about regulatory framework, don't you think that the framework should also be inclusive in understanding the needs from the land and then to go as to how the ecosystem should evolve? So with the entire spectrum of it to be covered is, I think, where the AI can assist in this. But then again, two words rather, is human oversight. The moment we lose human oversight and we let the technology drive humans, and that is an eternal question, what we would be faced with. Is technology there to assist us, or are we going to be a slave to the technology? With that, I would like to throw open the floor for question and answers, unless you both have anything else to add. Lovely. I see the first hand goes to the gentleman in the fourth. So mic to him, please. We could use the other mics here. We could use the other mics here if... Please keep your questions precise, and you have 30 seconds for your question. Thank you.
A very good morning to the panelists, and thank you for your insights. My question is regarding the cost. I think cost is a big issue regarding the implementation of AI and how it's utilized by the farmers, because as we know, farming itself has a very low margins, and most of our country is employed by the farmers. So could you please discuss and give your insights on how cost can be managed in this? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Could you please identify yourself? Your name and organization.
Hi, I'm Ishan Zalpuri. I am a recent graduate in engineering, and I'm working to build a startup.
Thank you.
So farmers are not going to, bear the cost of building this AI engine. I mean, so there's going to be, somebody like you is going to build that, AI engine, right? So you are going to actually, roll out that as a service to that farmer. So, so that's the idea. I mean, in the sense, as far as I understand, the cost would be training and the data involved in training that AI engine, and you would need that huge amount of data to train that engine. So it's not that difficult, but at the same time, it's certainly possible, and it doesn't require millions and millions that ChatGPT needs.
Yeah. Vashnaji.
Hello, thank you. First of all, myself.
1 second. He's about to answer, comment on.
I agree to the answer. I think the cost is not an apprehensive, and I agree to the opinion shared by Vishal that it is someone who's offering a service, he is going to incur that cost. So as a general layman, should not be concerned about this. Thank you.
My take on that is, are we ready? I'm talking on the farmers, I'm taking the farmer side, as to, do we need to let someone else drive us? Like if there are the whole room full of farmers here, and if we are being served by some of the product which may or may not do the complete justice, so are we ready to pay the price I'm playing on the cost and price here. So who builds the cat is what the eternal question is. But again, that's also an opportunity to come up with a service as well. Could you turn on the lights for the hall, please? Yeah, could you turn on the lights, please? Could you put the lights back on?
Can I?
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm
Identify yourself, please, and the organization.
I'm Dr. Arun, all the way from South Korea. So I have been in almost 9 years in South Korea. So I have a doctorate in hydrogen production from the water and using the hydrogen for electricity. Presently, I'm focusing on Mars landing from the moon to Mars. So my question is now, so I'm a son of a farmer, basically. So the question is, I'm also focused on climate change for almost 6 years. And I know how climate change will going to destroy the agriculture. For example, I can tell you the report which was published from the MIT, United States. High density of the carbon dioxide, CO2, can reduce the nutrition of any fruits, rice, and wheat. And also, it can also affect the production density. For example, let's say we can produce 1,000 kilogram of rice now, in future, after 10 years or 25 years, with the same amount of the money or a time we are putting, we cannot produce because of the climate change. So do you think the AI can help us to solve this problem, or we have to work on the science to solve the climate change? What's your opinion on this?
Thank you. Who likes to go? Yeah, you have all the questions, the tough questions to you.
Yeah, I mean,
No, actually the question, why I asked is, of course, that Stephen Hawking already mentioned, after 200 years, there will not be Earth. You can laugh by saying this statement.
Let's leave the conspiracy theories aside.
so I mean, you
Allow us to answer the question.
Okay, please go on.
So you've answered yourself. I mean, I don't have to answer that. I mean,
Good answer.
So yeah, to be honest, I mean, you can't see so much far ahead. I mean, we can look into what's coming up. I mean, if you look at fresh fruits and vegetables, I mean, I mean, how vertical farms are coming in, vertical farms in big cities, I mean, in the sense they are already, growing fruits and vegetables in under controlled environment, right? So that's an answer, to some of the, problems. Then, there's a lot of seed innovation happening, right? So that counters some of the problems. Then there are a number of other, innovation happening from water resources and other crop innovation point of view. So yes, I mean, but not at the rate possibly the way we are actually destroying Earth. I don't know. I mean, if that suffice, but yeah, I mean, innovation is happening to counter the warming of the Earth problem.
Yeah, thank you. We are planning to produce rice on the Mars. Thank you.
Well, one question to that is, a counter question to you is, how deeply do you believe that the climate change is real, as Trump says, or such a rescue mountaineer like me, who is an eco-activist, who sees with his own eyes what is happening right in our own country?
I spent almost 7 years to understand the basic of climate change. This meeting cannot be enough. Thank you.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So, next question, please.
Yes. So my question is not for Manoj ji or Vishal ji. It's more of adding 2 cents to Sensaraj ji to question. I call him Appaji. For Appaji's question earlier about food wastage. So here my 2 cents. I am Dr. Prasanna, sitting next to a big doctor here. So my 2 cents on wastage is about, I'm doing this.
Sir, please identify yourself.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Prasanna. Prasanna Ramchandra. So now honorary doctor, but not the PhD doctor. But now 2 cents on the food wastage. I'm actually working with temples in India, particularly in South India. You might see probably thousands of temples. If you visit temples, anybody, 11 o'clock, you won't see number of visitors. As we go towards lunchtime, more and more visitors will come along, right? So if you observe by 12:30, the entire hall will be full, right? You see a lot of food waste happening there, exactly at that point. We go to the temple, we put up whatever the chit for 5 people. But in the end, it is 50 people will come, 100 people will come. and vice versa also. I've already come up with a solution. Probably I'll feed it back to Sensei Rajji. We can use AI and sensors and also video analytics. We can exactly count how many people are in the hall and figure out how much the food is made up of. Right? Is it made for 50 people, 100 people, or 200 people? Immediately spot a problem. Immediately inform the where do we want to donate excess food, for example. We can donate it. Or we can make food faster. If you observe in temples, people at 12:30 realize there are 100 people have made food for only 50 people. They start
Dr.
cooking.
Prasanna, I think I should invite you to the next panel.
Definitely, I'm there, sir. Anytime I'm there, sir.
With that, we will wrap up the session. Thank you for your questions. And,
can we take one last question, please, if allowed?
I see one hand there. All right, it has to be very quick because I have already been signaled to wrap up the entire session. Quickly, please.
Hello, good morning to all the panelists. My name is Sandeep, and I'm on a company named Minds Connected Technologies Private Limited. It's an AI and Web3 based company. My question is very straightforward. Like our approx 50% workforce works in agriculture sector. In America is around 1%, and their yield is like not compared with India at all. They are like too much. So without even AI also, they are like too much. They're doing next level of
Your
things.
question, please.
So the question is that with AI, do you think those 50% workforce of ours will reduce, or what will happen to them actually?
We will have to have a separate discussion on that alone.
Yeah, I think we can have offline discussions. With this, we conclude this session. And thank you, Mr. Sensei Raj and our August panel. May I request Mr. Raj Sharma to kindly come up on the stage. We'd like to say a very special thanks to all of you for driving this wonderful session, AI-driven solutions for sustainable agriculture and reducing waste. We heard Mr. Ram Gopal Agarwal ji. First of all, to Mr. Sensei Raj, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Vartul Mittal, Technology and Innovation Specialist. आपने जो चीजें बताई हैं, they are all available here with us. If you want to hold discussions, you can do that. It's a very interesting platform. Mr. Sensei Raj, आपने बहुत अच्छा मॉडरेट किया. आपका विजन 2023 जो है वो बहुत सफल हो. And we have Mr. Vishal Salgotra, co-founder and CEO, InnoFarms.ai. Thank you, Vishal ji. Mr. Manoj Varshne. Heartiest congratulations. Thank you very much. We will be moving on to the next session. Let's have a photo up, please. सेंसेई जी म्यांमार में बहुत अच्छा काम करने जा रहे हैं अभी. Thank you so much. Rajiv, may I request you to kindly stay here on board because we've got two very big awards. We missed yesterday. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, we have with us Mr. Lucky Chaudhary from Valiance Analytics. I think he's outside. And may I invite to the fore Manasvi Logani from Team NewGen Software and her team to kindly come up and receive this award, which we missed yesterday.
NewGen. आप भी आ जाइए अभिनव जी. please also come.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to prepare for our next session, which is going to be a keynote address. Well, please drive it forward, Shikha Sonam.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello everyone. Good morning, one and all. I hope you guys have settled down and relaxed for quite long. Okay, so we are starting with the next session, that is on DNRC. DNRC is Drone National Roundtable Conference, and I am leading the NADSO team here, that is National Association of Drone Developers and Space Organization, which is a sister organization of AICRA. And we have been working on drone competitions like soccer, FPV race and rescue since quite long, since 4 or 5 years. But this year we are inducing the geospatial and space sector along with the drone sector. So currently the first up on stage will be our keynote address. Hanji.
Well, we have the next awardee here, earlier which we announced, Mr. Chaudhary is here from Valiance. And give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Lucky Chaudhary from Valiance Analytics. देखिए, ताली बजाने के दो फायदे हैं. एक तो आप एंगेज रहते हैं, दूसरा ब्लड प्रेशर नीचे आता है. हाँ, भारतीयता के आधार पर ताली बजाने के फायदे. और फिर मैंने कल कहा था कि छोटे बच्चों को एंकरिंग करते मैंने स्कूल की देखा. कहते संतरे में से निकले जो उसे जूस कहते हैं, और जो ताली ना बजाए उसे कंजूस कहते हैं. चलिए, आपको पुनः हनुमान जयंती की बहुत बहुत बधाई हो. आइए आगे का सिलसिला बढ़ाते हैं. वी सोनम जी.
Okay, thank you so much, Abhinav sir. So we are starting off with the next session on DNRC. We are starting with the keynote address on AI-powered drones transforming surveillance, logistics, disaster management, and many more sectors. This will be presented by Karthik Bansal, CEO and Head of Engineering, CAW Tech. Cortech, I believe there. Please join us on stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Karthik. I am founder of CAW. At CAW, we are hyper-focused on one mission. That is, we are helping enterprise find ROI from their AI investments. We work with enterprise very closely we study their business process to identify problem statements that can be best solved using AI. We develop rapid prototypes to demonstrate those solutions, and then finally we build them, we put guardrails in them, and we put them into productions. Now, AI is going to significantly change enterprise. Now, this insight we have heard multiple times in this conference itself. So I'm not going to bore you with that same insight again. Instead, I'm going to take the opportunity to share a real-life example where a business process was incorporated with AI, and we saw significant improvement in efficiency and a positive impact on the bottom line. The example that I'm talking about involves drones and AI. Let me first talk about drones. See, drones were invented as toys, but then soon businesses started using them as part of their business process. Organization in disaster management, surveillance, logistics, healthcare, they've all employed drones to bring efficiency in their business process. See, when you put a camera to a drone, you essentially get eyes in remote locations. The images these drones capture then can be transferred to a remote location, and then humans can interpret these images, analyze them, and take actions. However, you still have dependency on humans here. When you introduce AI in it, AI can essentially do the same thing. They can also interpret, analyze, and take actions faster than humans, and as accurate, sometimes even more accurate than humans can. And that's what one of our clients witnessed. Now, the client I'm talking about is a coal mining giant, and the use case that I'm talking about is volumetric analysis of stockpile measurement. Now, it's a mouthful. Let me take 30 seconds to explain what does this use case means. See, Coal India or NTPC engages our client to dig coal mine. At the end of the month, all of the coal that was dug out is deposited at a site next to the mine. This is called stockpile. Now, our client sends a surveyor at the site to measure the volume of this coal that was extracted and publish a report. And this report goes to Coal India, and the client gets paid out. Now, traditionally, a client has used land-based survey to do this volumetric analysis. At the end of the month, they send a surveyor to the site with this apparatus, and it takes about 10 to 15 days for him to do entire analysis and publish the report. Now, this is a sufficient amount of delay, which causes a lot of pressure on cash flows. Plus, there's a health and safety issue because the person has to navigate the entire stockpile to get accurate measurement. The first thing we did in the first phase of this improvement, what we did was we switched to aerial-based survey using drones. Now, our client has a drone deployed at the site. And at the last day, when the entire stockpile is gathered, a pilot sends the drone and clicks a series of 2D photographs of the entire stockpile. The photographs look something of this kind. All these photographs are uploaded into a Google Drive folder, and then remotely a mining engineer downloads all these images. And then he uses a bunch of softwares. These softwares are legacy, but very powerful, very niche, and creates 3D models out of it. Now, using these 3D models, you can actually get the volume of the stockpile quite accurate. The accuracy is somewhere between 98 to 100%. Now, with this switch, they were able to bring down the time for generating reports to about 5 to 7 days. In the phase 2, we wanted to further bring down this time period, and there we employed AI. We looked at the business process, and we realized there is a lot of dependency on this mining engineer. First thing first, the mining engineer downloads all these photographs and manually navigates through all of them to find erroneous images and removes them. There's a concern about availability of this engineer. So say the images got uploaded on a Friday evening, but the engineer would only pick it up on Monday morning and start working on them. Then it takes sufficient training to teach him how to use this software. And say after a few months of training, say he decides to leave the organization, you have to repeat the entire process. So there were not only performance issues, there were also scale issues in going and surveying more sites. What we did was, we used a bunch of visual models. We tried out Microsoft OmniParser and Quen's QWP model, combined it with Claude's computer use, and created an AI agent that could do the same work as what the mining engineer was doing.